came from a middle class family, and I had a lot of friends that were more middle upper class, whose parents had friends like on the draft board, and one of my friends, his dad was a Superior Court judge, and a lot of them were being coached as to how to avoid being drafted. But most of the guys I hung around with didn't treat me any different. Uh, One guy did. I went to church. I grew up in the church,
Yeah.
Protestant church, Nazarene. One of my friends who, we'd been good friends. He thought he had to stand up in front of the young adult Sunday school class and say that he didn't see how anybody who could pick up a gun and go to Vietnam could call himself a Christian. Kind of took me aback because we'd been really good friends and he'd never given any indication.
How did you respond to that?
Uh, didn't really respond.
How did the others respond to it?
Nobody said anything. It was like silence. When I came back, I was going to go back to school, and it was an English 1A class, and it was a writing class. And one of the first assignments was something about perception, And I wrote about what I had thought Vietnam would look like and what it actually looked like. And anyway, the teacher gave me an A on it, and he put a note on the paper that said, "See me after class." So I went in after class, and he goes, "I just want you to know that this is the last passing grade you're going to get in my class if you don't drop it." He said, "I don't want any baby killers in my class." And I said, "I never even saw a baby when I was in Vietnam, and you don't know what I did there or what I didn't do there." And he goes, "Well, that's the way it is."
We ended up flying from Yokota to Seattle, and then from Seattle down to Norton Air Force Base in San Bernardino. It was like 2:30 in the morning, and I went through there, and I got a ride down to LAX, and I called my mother, and I said, my mother and father both work, so I said, "Look, I'm going to take an 8 a.m. flight." I said, I'm going to get into Kennedy at such and such a time. And I got off the plane. I got on the plane. There were only like 5 passengers because they flew every hour. It was American Airlines. I said, "Jesus, how do they make any money?" So the flight attendant said, "Where are you headed from?" I said, "I just got back from Vietnam." So they treated me unbelievably well. And we flew to New York, and I got off the plane, and I was walking through Kennedy Airport to meet my parents. And I could see them, and we waved, and this guy, long hair, peace sign, "How many babies did you kill today?" I said, I just said, "Fuck you," and I just kept walking.
And when I left Camp Pendleton to go home for my first leave, I was in dress browns and had a small little suitcase, and walking through the airport, I was by myself. A lot of military guys, they were stationed around that area, so they weren't in uniform. But as you got into the busy part of the airport, I saw, like, I say hippies, but blah blah whatever. But there were people. Then I started getting yelled at. Baby killer. I remember some yelling baby killer. And things like that. Just guys coming up. But anyway, some guy came up to me and spit on the side of my face, and we and I hit him, and then he went down. I hit him a couple more times, and then I got up, and I was grabbed from behind, and it was by the MPs there, or a policeman or something like that, and I ended up in the airport jail. It was MP because the guy I talked to was from Army, and he had been over in Vietnam the year before, and we talked a lot, and he kind of got me out of there. What the guy I that held me behind, I had kicked him in the leg, at the back of the leg, and scraped his leg, and he let me go. And so I was there about a year. An hour or 2 hours, and I missed my flight, but I waited and got another one. So that was my my experience. Later coming in, I got screamed at and yelled at and stuff, but nothing as bad as that.